Hello, everyone. Today I want to speak about why Christians seem to be so opposed to big government. Um, Big government usually has a lot of really good promises that they want to make to the people. They want to take care of people. They want to make sure no one goes without health care, and they want to make sure that people are fed and everyone's equal. And that all sounds like really good stuff, right? So why wouldn't a Christian want everyone to be fed, equal, and clothed, right? We have a lot of ministries that do just that. So why would we prefer to do it ourselves instead of letting the government do it? Well, there's a lot of reasons, and a lot of them are biblical. So let's go over some of those today. It all boils down to this, that there's a constrained and an unconstrained view. So this unconstrained view is the view that humans are basically good and their nature is malleable, that they can be changed, and if there's anything bad in the world, it's because we just don't have enough systems in place to fix that human nature or to compensate for it. So you might be saying, well, what are we unconstrained from? Well, the thing we are unconstrained from is this behavior, this nature, this human nature, okay? The other view is that we are constrained. Okay, we are constrained by our human nature, that all humans have a sin nature, and that we are all somewhat corrupt and corruptible, that there's this dichotomy that humans are absolutely amazing and beautiful, but we also have this potential for really horrible, horrendous things. Okay, so we're not perfect. So which one of these sounds more biblical to you? Okay, so in Genesis, in the very beginning, we have this story unfold for us that we humans are made in perfect relationship with God every day. We walk with God in the garden. We get to be with God the way it's intended. But our sin nature, we decide to do something contrary to God's nature. So all sin is kind of an offshoot of this. All sin is this choosing our way over God's, being our own God. And so Adam and Eve fall, and their sin nature is passed on to all of us. We are actually constrained by our own nature. And we start to see this recur throughout the Bible. You get a lot of verses like, all have fallen short of the glory of God, or all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. There are none righteous, no, not one. It is a very biblical idea that no, we are not all mostly good, or our will is not malleable by human resources and by human efforts and endeavors. So even Paul says that we're dead in our iniquities. We cannot save ourselves. We are wicked. We are lost. And no amount of government can fix that. And so it's a very biblical idea. So the problem that Christians have with big government is that no matter how powerful your government is, it's run by a person, and that person is corruptible. Okay, because humans are constrained by evil. So those are your two views. You can see which one you think plays out the best in history. You can look at Hitler and Mussolini and Stalin and Pol Pot, and the list goes on and on and on of people that had these really powerful governments that should have eliminated evil, and they talked a big game about doing so. And they committed the most heinous acts of all. So that's the issue that Christians have with big government. It all boils down to these two worldviews. So if you think you're a Christian and you believe that humans are basically good, there's an issue there. So that's counter to the entire gospel. If you could save yourself, if government could save you, if government could constrain your evil, then you don't need Jesus. Jesus was a fool to get up on the cross and die for us when we could have just saved ourselves. Okay? Jesus said himself, if there's any other way, God, let this cup be taken from me. I don't want to go on the cross. But there was no other way. We are dead in our trespasses. There is no hope for us apart from Christ. But the good news is that he did come and die for us on the cross to pay for our transgressions, and that he will finish the good work that he started in us. We are promised that he will sanctify us. Okay, so it's a very long process, but there's nothing the government can do to help us. And so if you believe this, you believe in a false gospel. The government is now your God. It's going to take care of you. It's going to rehabilitate you. We don't need police. We need social workers who can rehabilitate you. And we just need the systems in place. It's not a criminal's fault when they break the law. It's the system's fault. The system generates these criminals, and these criminals are actually really good people, but the system forced them into this. That is not what the Bible tells us. The Bible tells us that we all have free will, and we are slaves to sin, and that it's not the system that makes us this way. We make the system that way. So you're putting the cart before the horse. It's not the system that makes evil people. It's the people that make the system evil, okay? And we can have really good systems, but people will cheat the system, and they'll work the system, and that's just the way it is. I think, be honest with yourself. Which view do you think is right? Do you think we're all basically good, and that if our systems were just good enough, we could force people to be good? That's one of the false gospels that you find in many religions. So you look at these monks that go up on these mountaintops so that they can just pray all day and not sin. So if I just clear my mind and don't think anything and just don't do anything, then I'm free from sin. Wrong answer. Okay, because when you're up there on the mountaintop, you're ignoring all the people who are suffering down below. And so are you free from sin? No. You're causing people down below to suffer. You're not doing anything to help them. You're not providing them any health care. You're not providing them any food, help, comfort, resources, shelter, housing. So you're actually committing sins of omission. You're not committing sins of commission. You're not actually going out and committing sins. You're sitting there on your lofty mountaintop, not helping people for your own benefit. And so that's the way a Christian looks at it. That's a scriptural look at constrained and unconstrained view. Maybe this will help you figure out, why don't Christians want these so-called good things? Why do they want to provide the health care for people? Why do they want to provide everything instead of letting the government provide everything? Why do the people want to do the works? Well, that's why. Because you have to surrender all your authority to something that, in the end of the day, holds too much power, and the people in charge, you're depending on them to be good people, and they will, even if they're good people when they go in, they will probably be corrupted and be bad people by the time it comes out. And nobody's perfect. All have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. All right, thank you. Until next time. Remember, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and if you hated it, like and subscribe anyway.